All right, welcome everyone. This is Lessons in My Gym Jams. Today I am wearing Peter Alexander Easter Bunny gym jams. Yeah. Oh, hi Thomas.
Hi.
Welcome everybody. This is Lessons in My Gym Jams. Now, to start, we have to give Finn a treat. Finn, come here. Look, got a treat for you, Finn. Look, delicious. Come here. He's lying in his bed like a lazy pig dog. Come here, Finn. Come get a treat. Come here. Come here. Great. He's not coming. Oh, he is. All right, come here. There we go. There's a treat for Finnegan. All right. That is how we're going to start every day. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. It is really lovely to see you all. It's lovely that you're here. There's lots of you, and there's people, I think, from around the world as well, which is really exciting, and all around Australia too. We are recording this lesson, so if you don't want because I can still see some faces, which is lovely, but if you don't want your face, you have to make sure that you stop your video. So that's a little bit of admin before we begin. All right. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lyn. I'm a tutor, amongst other things, and I have lots of students who I miss terribly. And so we're going to be doing lessons every day as one of the ways to stop me missing my students. We're going to take some spelling patterns. So this is going to be a spelling lesson. So if you have a pencil and a piece of paper, then you can write down the words that we're going to work on today. You don't have to. You can just watch the lesson. It's not going to be a terrible thing if you don't have a pencil and a piece of paper. But if you do, get it ready, because you are going to make a word list, and then I'm going to show you how to practice that list so that those words go into your long-term memory. And that's what we want. We want everybody's all the words in your long-term memory, so that you can, when you're writing, so that you can remember them and write fluently without having to think about it. And that's what we want for everybody. All right. So I'm just turning off everybody's camera. There we go. Everyone's camera's off. That's brilliant. Although there's some more people coming in. So I think what we'll do as a rule as well, making sure that you are, hello, welcome to the new people. As a rule, I think what we'll do is we'll wait until about 5 past. And then after that, I won't be able to let anybody in because I've got to concentrate on the lesson. But I'll let everybody know that. I hadn't done that before. But I'll let everyone know. All right, pencil and piece of paper. Today we are going to do something called the W effect. So the letter W up here, I've got lots of letters. I've got the alphabet. So these are the consonants in the alphabet, as it says here. And down here, over here, are the vowels. I've separated them out because they have different behavior. They are different. They're made in different ways, and they have different effects. Just for the new people that have come in, I'm going to stop your video just because it's more efficient that way. All right, so vowels and consonants. This consonant here, the letter W, when it's in words, sometimes has an effect on the letters around it. I'll show you what I mean. And today, this is about the W effect. So when you see W, be suspicious. The vowel following W sometimes is affected by this letter. And the combination that we're going to do today is W plus A. Usually, the sound that this represents is W. The sound that this represents most commonly is A. But when W gets next to A in words, a lot of the time, we change that A to an O sound. If you look over at that picture here, this picture was drawn especially for me by my friend Dougie, and he drew a W looking a little bit mean there, and he's got a boxing glove on, and he's gone over to the A and gone like that, and the A, instead of going A, which we would expect, is now going oh. That's the W effect as illustrated by the very famous artist Dougie. So the words that we're going to look at today are where W is affecting A. And the first one that we're going to do, get ready to write it down, is the word was. So on your first line, so I hope you have some lined paper. Lined paper is good. You can have dotted thirds. You can even have a little book like this. And if you're just writing on some loose paper, that's fine. But if you want to come back and do more lessons and build up a word list, then my recommendation is you get a little exercise book like this. They're really cheap. Kmart can deliver, so you can get them and not have any contact with anybody. It's a really good thing to have. All my students, you have a book already. All right, so get ready to write the first word, and we're going to say the sounds as we write them. I'm going to say the sounds for spelling, so what we're going to do is pronounce the most common sound. Watch me, then it will be your turn. Ready? W, a, s, was. So I'm saying the sounds, and then I'm saying the word. So that word was said two ways, first for spelling, then for reading. Write it down. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that. Say it when you write it. W, a, s, was. And then draw an arrow from the W to the A, up above like that, to show that the W is having an effect on the A. Instead of it saying was, it says was. There's a reason this sound here is making a noisy sound. This letter here is representing a noisy sound. Z. There's a reason for that. We're not going to go into that today. All right, ready for the next word. When you get some soap and you put it on your hands, what do you do to your hands? Wash. So that's going to be our next word. W, a, sh. Two letters, one sound. Sh. Write it down. And you can write it neater than me. I'm not writing it very neatly at all. W, a, sh. Wash. Guess what we're going to mark it with? That's right, an arrow going from the W to the A. Also, we've got two letters, one sound, and in my marking system, I like to put a line underneath two letters, one sound, to show that you've got to say them together, not separately. So that represents sh, and the line reminds us to make one sound. Good stuff. Ready for the next word? The word is want. I want a biscuit. So it goes w, a, n, t. Want. Write it down. Marking. What are we going to mark? Well, we're going to mark the W effect. The W comes next to A. Sorry, when A follows W, it tends to make an O sound. Want. All right. Those are the really common ones, but here's one I think all children like, or most children like, and that is if you've read Harry Potter or seen Harry Potter, those sticks that they move about to cast spells. What's that called? Harry Potter's magic. Yep. Wand. W, a, n, d. Wand. Write it down. And if you've written it down and you've finished, show the W effect. See if you can do that without me. Letting a few more people in. Welcome to the new people. Sorry to keep you waiting, but I was concentrating on the lesson. So we're doing the W effect, and I have stopped your video and muted you, just because it makes it efficient. Did everybody write an arrow from the W to the A to show the W effect? I hope you did. Very good work. All right. Okay. So that's quite a bunch of words there, but there are more. There are more. We're going to do one more, and this time it doesn't begin with W, but there's a W in there having an effect on the A. The big, beautiful, graceful bird that floats on the water. Its babies are called cygnets. What word am I looking for? Did you get it? It's swan. Swan goes like this. S, w, a, n. Write it down. Swan. S, w, a, n. It's another example of the W effect, and that word doesn't begin with W, but W still does that in most positions in the word. Draw an arrow from the W to the A to show the W effect, and the word is swan. All right. That's wonderful work. Very, very well done. It's really exciting. Now, I see that there's some messages on chat, and I'll read them really soon, but I'm in the middle of the lesson now, so I can't answer anything just yet, but I'll try to answer you really soon. The other thing is I might actually get someone in here working with me so that they can let people in and do the answering while I'm doing the lesson. But we're all learning and building all of this stuff. So for now, it's just me and the dog, and he's rubbish at tech. All right, so we've got a bunch of great words there. There are more. Of course, there are always more. And you can do some homework by finding some more. There's something I want to tell you, something else that I want to tell you about the W effect, though, which I think is a really important thing. Yes, the letter W has that effect on vowels, especially the letter A, but also it has an effect on the letters O and R when they're together. I wonder if you can think of any words in the world that have that W effect. That's something to think of after this lesson. But there are more words, and you can actually send those in to me if you like, if you found some words in the world where the W effect is going on for OR, which normally says in Australian English or in American and Scottish or, right? The W has an effect anyway. So that's a little bit of additional information for the W effect. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. QU. The sound that it usually represents in words is Q. So you're starting with a K back here, and then you're making a sound. When QU comes before the letter A, the W effect sometimes happens as well. That's a really interesting fact. So we have words like S, Q, A, Sh. What word? Squash. So can also have a W effect. It doesn't always, and it doesn't always with W either, but with W it's much, much stronger. But this is the word squash, and the W effect is happening there too. That's how we would mark squash. So I'm going to show you a way to practice. Ooh, people have got lots of great words up there. I'm going to show you a way to practice these words that are better than look, cover, say, write, check. If you know how to put your hand up on, what's this, Zoom. If you know how to put your hand up on Zoom, put your hand up if you know what I mean when I say look, say, cover, write, check. That's the next challenge. Can you put your hand up? Do you know how to? And do you know look, say, cover, write, check? The reason I'm bringing this up is because there's a better way to practice spelling words. And if you are my student, you'll know that way already. And the better way to practice words is like this. Reading it two ways, first for spelling, then for reading. So now you've got this list. I want you to come back to this list and practice it so that it goes into your long-term memory. then it makes those words automatic for you when you're writing, so that you can concentrate on what you want to write rather than, oh, how do I spell that again? So this practice is really effective for that. Saying the words two ways, first for spelling, then for reading. This is how you do the list. Here we go. W, a, s, was. Do it with me this time. W, a, s, was. W, a, sh, wash. W, a, n, t, want. W, a, n, d, wand. S, w, a, n, swan. The W, by the way, the sound I'm making when I am pronouncing this letter is w. It's not wa. Okay, that's two sounds. So try and make it really precise. That's what you say when it's in words. All right, that's our word list. I'm going to leave that up there, but I'm going to do some dictation now. I'm going to get you to write down a sentence. Right. People are saying they're finding it difficult to figure out how to put their hands up. Don't know, because everybody's device is different, slightly different, so it's hard. It's really hard to figure that out. I can't help you. You just gotta you gotta figure it out for yourself, I'm afraid. Oh, look at all those hands go up. Suddenly, a whole bunch of people have figured it out. That's awesome. Well done, you guys. Really good. So there's some button on your screen somewhere that allows you to do it. But if you can't find it, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Very cool. Lots of you are doing some good, really good work there. All right. So I'm going to dictate a sentence to you now. All right. I will say the sentence and I want you to write it down. This is helping to practice these words as well, because you might as well, you've invested this time in them, you might as well use them. All right, here comes the sentence. I'll say the whole thing, then I'll say bits of it again and give you some time to write it down. Then I'll write it down and you can check. All right, and if you need to fix anything, fix it. Okay, here we go. Here's the sentence. I want you to imagine, this is just before the sentence, I want you to imagine this magical lake, right? This magical, beautiful, enchanted lake. And on that lake is a big white swan. Now, I know that in Australia, the swans are black usually, but everywhere else they're white. Isn't that weird? There you go. So it's going to be a white swan in my imagination. All right. So here comes the sentence. This is what I want you to write down. Get your pencils ready. The swan was washing her wand. That's it. The swan was washing her wand. I'll give you a couple of minutes to write that down. The swan was washing her wand. Ooh, someone wrote SWAT. That's a good one, Lauren. The swan was washing her wand. Some really good examples in these messages here. Has everybody written the sentence? The swan was washing her wand. Ah, right. Hands up is in the chat bar, apparently. Good on you, Amanda. Ah, it's not Lauren at all. Wow, cool. All right. I'm going to write it down now. I want you to check it. If it's correct, tick it. And if it's incorrect, fix it. Make sure you've got the rubber. I'm going to write it over here. The swan. Now, did you put a capital on your T? All sentences begin with capital letters and they end with dots. Those dots are either full stops, exclamation marks, question marks. The swan was. And then we've got washing. Now, we didn't write washing here. We wrote the base wash. But from to that, you've got to add the suffix ing. Did you get that? Washing. a, sh, suffix, ing. Her, wand. W, a, n, d. Did you put a full stop at the end? I hope you did. If you didn't, put one there now. Now you have a perfect sentence. Very good.
When's the next time you're going to have another lesson? Because Luke, you really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you. Same time every day, 11 o'clock.
Okay.
11 o'clock Melbourne time. So goodness knows what that is around the world. But yes, 11 o'clock every day this week. Probably have
I like the music. Lynn?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go.
It's Kate Roundtree here. I'm just wanting to know how we can access the recordings.
Yes, so on my website, which is lifelongliteracy.com, there's a page. So if you go to, I might actually show you that right now, so that you know where to go, because all the recordings will be put onto this one page. So I'm going to share my screen with you shortly, and I'll show you that right now. It takes a little while for them to render and to be put up, and I have a bit of a backlog at the minute. So today's lesson is going to take a little while. If you wouldn't mind muting your mic again, unless you have a question, that would be.
I have a question, Lynn.
Ooh, yes, go.
What will we be doing for the next meeting?
Well, I'm open to suggestions. I haven't even thought that far ahead. What we will do, though, and this is going to be the format every day, is that we're going to go back over what we've done previously. So there will be an accumulation of knowledge there. Then what we're going to do is, I'm like I said, I'll take suggestions. Tomorrow I was thinking a little bit, I can see some of the children are a bit older, which is good. I was thinking a little bit along the lines of maybe talking about prefixes and suffixes.
Okay.
And tomorrow, and adding those to words, although there's lots of information in that, so it'll have to be over a few lessons, but I think we might go there. But if you know, do you know how to email me? Does everybody know how to get in touch?
Okay.
If you know.
Okay.
Now I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind muting, that would be great. There's one person unmuted, I think. Oh no. All right, so I'm sharing this, and hopefully you can see my screen now. And this is my website, lifelongliteracy.com. On this tab, resources, it says free webinars, and what you do is you press on that, and that then will give you all of the recordings. So I need a couple of days to catch up and put them on there, but eventually they'll all be on there. That's where you find them. If you want to get in touch, there's a contact form on my website if you are already in touch. All right, any other questions, anybody?
No.
Lots of mics there.
I have one meeting.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we have any homework?
No, I wasn't going to give homework, but if you want to practice these words, they will go into your long-term memory quicker. So that's good homework. So if you want to do homework, do it. But I have no way of checking, especially if there's 50 or 60 or 100 people at a time. So, you know, you can practice is the homework. But like I say, I have no way of checking whether you've done that. But I hope you do practice and use more of those words in your sentences and that sort of thing. Hope that makes sense. Anybody else?
Oh, how do we put up?
If you do have a question, then unmute yourself. But if there aren't more questions, then I will, I'll wind up. I think we're almost at the half-hour spot. I don't think we should go much longer than that. Nope. All right. one last thing. I'm going to unmute you all so that I can hear everybody now. I'm going to unmute you all because I want to say bye-bye.
Yes, I'm unmuted.
All unmuted. Bye-bye. Your camera's on as well.
Bye.
Lovely to see you. Bye. I'm going to say bye until I stop saying bye. Can you close the meeting anytime you want?
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone. All right.
Bye, everyone.
How do I end this meeting?
I can't figure out how to leave.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry. I'm about to end the meeting, so
Let's leave
I
the
miss
meeting.
you all. I'll see
Mom,
you again.
it's done. Bye-bye.
I thought that was about to text it.
Mom, I'm gonna press leave meeting.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.